If you've been playing Mario Kart 8 since it first came out, it's been a fun but long 11 years. And while there have been other Mario Kart offerings during that time, including a deluxe Switch port with a massive DLC expansion, a mobile game, and a neat RC augmented reality game, none of them can generate the same level of excitement that only a fully featured, from-the-ground-up sequel could provide. But with the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, that wait has finally come to an end with Mario Kart World, boasting new ideas and shakeups to the kart racing formula we all know and love, and resulted in a refreshing fun time that I still haven't been able to put down easily. So with introductions out of the way, this is Mario Kart World, a whole new world of kart racing. Mario Kart World is all about racing with Mario and friends across a massive, interconnected world of racetracks and some of the biggest and most chaotic kart races you've ever seen. World is still Mario Kart at its core, with items keeping any race from becoming a foregone conclusion, and techniques like drifting and drafting to speed things up. But the similarities mostly stop there. World has lots of new and improved tricks up its sleeve to make races feel different. For starters, the maximum number of drivers has increased from 12 to 24, making the pack feel more like a stampede at times, as anything and everything can happen with that many racers together. You can now pull off multiple tricks when going off ramps, and they also help adjust your position for greater mid-air control. This combined with the more responsive basic handling have made World's driving feel quite enjoyable in my opinion. The multi-terrain driving returns with some modifications. When karts reach massive bodies of water, instead of diving underneath, they turn into jet skis that stay on top of the water and can even trick off the rising waves, very wave race inspired. And instead of sprouting gliders, karts now spread their wings when it's time to take to the skies. Sometimes it's necessary to take off-road detours, and the kart's tires grow monster sized to better tackle the rougher terrain. While 8's anti-gravity racing didn't return, World plays with verticality via wall and rail riding. The new charge jump helps you reach some walls or rails by holding down the drift button to charge while driving forward, then releasing it to jump higher than normal. These new techniques let you tap into your inner Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and get creative to reach off the beaten path spots on the track. These alternative routes aren't always the fastest way around, but can help you break away from the pack and keep moving when everyone starts blasting each other with items. On the topic of items, the arsenal is mostly composed of Mario Kart staples like shells, bananas, and mushrooms. While most of them function the same, one noticeable difference is that you automatically drag items behind you. It's great to have items at the ready without needing to hold a button, but you're at risk of quickly losing them in shoulder-to-shoulder traffic. Tricks like using a mushroom to dodge a blue shell at the right moment, or sniping unsuspecting opponents' head with a banana toss still work. Some items came back like the crushing Mega Mushroom, or the feather now usable in races for an instant high jump. Great for dodging red shells, or reaching walls or rails to ride. The new coin shell plows through anyone in its way, and leaves a trail of coins behind, which help build up your top speed. And Kami can be summoned to transform drivers into an enemy character, plus spawning a crowd of enemies ahead to wreak havoc. Finally, there's dash food, which aren't found in item boxes, but next to restaurants and food stands found all over the place. Downing and dashing not only gives you a speed boost, but depending on the character and type of food, it also changes the character's costume based on what they ate. With 24 drivers plus the threat of 2 items each at any time, item plays can get super hectic. There's only a few invincibility frames after getting hit, so getting Mario Karted all the way from 1st to 24th can and will happen. That's not to say you won't get your opportunities for revenge, like using lightning just after everyone ahead got their items. World's novel additions to driving have been a lot of fun to master, even though at times things can be admittedly frustrating when the item boxes aren't in your favor. But with so many new options to keep races on their toes, they've made coming in first a hard-fought battle, just the way I like it. As the game's title suggests, Mario Kart World's main draw is the giant interconnected world. Tracks both new and old are no longer in separate environments, but as landmarks within the shared open world, with 30 unique locations on the map. The map is made up of various regions, kind of like the different worlds you'd see in a mainline Mario game, from a desert canyon, seaside beaches, snowy mountains, volcanic plains, and many more in between, with the tracks themed after their surroundings. These include new favorites like Crown City, Salty Salty Speedway, and Cheap Cheap Falls, taking the world traveling vibe that Mario Kart Tour introduced to the next level, better integrating real-world inspired locations with the Super Mario World. But there's also plenty of fun new locales that you can only find in a Mario Kart game, like DK Spaceport, Dandelion Depths, and Boo Cinema. Returning tracks from previous games no longer mention their console of origin in the title, as they've been reimagined to be parts of the world just as much as the new tracks are. Beyond changes like 64's Choco Mountain turned into a monster truck derby, or Double Dash's Dino Dino Jungle going full on Jurassic Park, some tracks got massive overhauls, like Mario Circuit weaving 3 of the SNES layouts together, or Double Dash's Peach Beach going through its original route on lap 1, but then explores new areas on laps 2 and 3. Keeping with the theme of a shared world, tracks don't take place at a specific time of day anymore, but are on a day-night cycle as time passes during races. Almost every track has more than one way to get around, as rail and wall riding, plus fewer restrictions on objects you can perform tricks off of, really open up how much of a track's real estate is drivable. What sets World's tracks apart from previous games is that each course is connected to a few others, thanks to routes that link them together, and with tracks featuring multiple entry and exit points, there's a ton of routes to traverse, so the journey matters just as much as the destination. It's kind of like how Double Dash's tracks had others visible in the background, except you can actually drive to them like it's Outrun. Like the tracks, the routes are themed around their locations on the map, so sometimes you're driving on highways, and other times through off-road trails on the dirt, sand, and snow, or even across rivers and oceans thanks to the new water driving mechanics. While the routes tend to be more straightforward and wider than traditional tracks, the roads are far from empty. You'll be weaving through lanes of traffic, crowds of enemies and wildlife, and each other as items get thrown around. Areas with bridges, power lines, or trucks with gliding ramps can temporarily take races off the main road, oftentimes being the slower way around when compared to a straight line, but keeps you moving while item chaos is going down on the beaten path. Mushrooms or any other item that don't slow you down on rougher terrain like grass are especially useful on routes, allowing you to cut through huge portions of the road to catch up and lead the pack. Another neat bit that some routes provide is that depending on the direction you're approaching a track, you'll drive on different variations of certain courses, sometimes even going through the track in reverse. Routes can also serve as interesting lead-ups to the tracks, like riding on train tracks in a rail yard to get to Whistle Stop Summit, taking to the skies to reach Airship Fortress's fleet, or a downhill slalom from Starview Peak to DK Pass. There's a whole lot more to the map of Mario Kart World beyond the tracks and routes, but we'll get to that later. With a field of 24 drivers, Mario invited plenty of friends and foes to go racing with him this time around. World's roster features most of the karting series mainstays, rocking some fancy new threads thanks to Dash Food costumes, giving the core characters a little something new for their longtime fans to enjoy. These include neat references, like Mario and Luigi's Pro Racer mechanic attire coming directly from Famicom Grand Prix 2, fun bits like Yoshi and Toadette dressed as restaurant workers, location-specific fits like Conductor Toad, Fisherman Lackey 2, and Mariachi Waluigi, or Donkey Kong and Bowser looking like they belong in Skylanders again. All these costumes do have me missing the Mii's as playable characters though. There's also the NPC driver category, which lets you race with some of the enemy and sideline characters you've seen on the track, from some of Bowser's minions like a Goomba, to a penguin from Cool Cool Mountain, and even a cow from Moo Moo Meadows. Some NPCs are available at the start, but others can only be unlocked by Kamek transforming you into them first, which is neat, albeit inconsistent, given that it relies solely on item luck at specific locations. World's character roster may be missing a few fan favorites, but for the folks out there living their best life with new drivers like Swoop, I'm happy you were catered to this time. It's no Mario Kart without karts, and World's Garage is full of fun karts, bikes, and ATVs to race with, and vehicles are preset builds again instead of customizable parts. The new standard kart has more of a dune buggy look, which is perfect for this game's focus on cross-country, all-terrain racing. We've also got new vehicles themed around some of the track locations, again similar to how Mario Kart Tour did things. Not every vehicle rolls with 2 to 4 wheels, some of them mix it up with treads and skis. The picks from previous games are also nice to see, like the iconic B-Dasher from DS and Bumblebee from 7. And with the inclusion of NPC drivers, pairing some of them with creature-inspired vehicles is adorable, like a Parabitty Bug in the Bitty Buggy, or a Dolphin on the Dolphin Dasher. Stats from the character's weight class and vehicle selection determines your combo's performance. While there's a few well-performing setups that top players gravitate to, I wouldn't be so quick to give up on your favorite ride for the sake of stats. Good item plays and smart driving make you competitive no matter what. There's a small bit of personalization possible by selecting a sticker to place on your vehicle. You'll earn hundreds of them through your races and travels, but they only show up on certain spots similar to the character emblems. While I'm mostly okay with the lack of modular vehicles, I would have liked if more vehicles came in colors based on the character you chose. But with the inclusion of costumes, which gives you more color schemes to work with, there's plenty of options for fun and cool character and vehicle pairings to take to the tracks. If Mario Kart 8's presentation was all about being sleek and high-tech, then Mario Kart World is all about being a fun and whimsical road trip, which you can feel in almost every aspect on how this game looks and sounds. Everything on screen is colorful, detailed just enough to still have that Mario look, and a lot rounder and more animated. The graphics aren't pushing the Switch 2 to its limits, but the number of interactions that go on during races across the large environments, without any pop-in or frame drops, are definitely benefiting from the new hardware's horsepower. All the characters look like they're happy to be here as they're bouncing along to the music on the character select screen, and look like they're having just as much fun behind the wheel with all the poses while performing tricks, with new animations for some of their costumes. Their faces are a lot more expressive as well, such as matching how the player probably looks when a blue shell is about to hit them. The kart models make use of a little squash and stretch for their animations, like when the wheels bend when building up a charge jump, or when the tires balloon up as they go off-road. While you can watch replays of local races, there's unfortunately no way to save them for later to make highlight reels, or rewatch moments from online races. There is, however, a photo mode, allowing you to quickly set up shots of your kart racing escapades, or create mementos from your travels around the world. As for the music, I sometimes think I actually paid $80 for a stellar Mario Kart soundtrack, and got a free game to go with it. Keeping with this game's road trip and traveling themes, there's harmonicas playing on the title screen and map themes, and songs for the new tracks use various motifs from music around the world, and given that modern Mario Kart flavor. The racetrack songs also have some dynamic elements to them. When you're approaching a course, there's a build-up variation of the theme, then transitions into the proper track music once you reach the start line, and has a little ending bit as you leave the area. But that's not all. There's a bunch of new remixes not only from previous Mario Kart games, but also from Mario's entire gaming history, plus a few tunes from his friends' games. These songs play both during and outside of races, and their random selection is based on your location on the map. While it's fun to guess which song is playing at any given moment, a jukebox mode like 8 Deluxe God is something this game desperately needs. This musical embarrassment of riches deserves it. Mario Kart World offers ways to not only race solo or with friends, but to explore as well. The Grand Prix mode takes you through every track in the game, but with a few changes to its structure. Every cup is still 4 races, but how those races play out are what's changed. While the first race is the traditional 3 laps, every race after that has you driving from the track you just finished, and on routes to the next track, with checkpoints counting as laps, and the final lap taking place on the destination track. At the end of every race, you earn points based on your finish position, and the driver with the most points after round 4 wins the cup. The first 7 cups also feature a rival character, who tries the hardest in races to beat you, and clearing a cup for the first time unlocks that character. It's obvious from the jump that there's not just 7 Grand Prix cups, as there's a few tracks on the map that you haven't played yet, but it takes clearing all of them to finally unlock the special cup. A worthwhile endeavor as you race your way to the best Rainbow Road in the series, and they really made both the route and race on this course feel special. Haven't felt this way about a Rainbow Road since I first got there in 64. But Grand Prix aren't the only way to go for the gold in this game. World also introduces a new race mode called Knockout Tour, an elimination and endurance race where only a select few will reach the finish line. Tours are divided into rallies, which take you through 5 consecutive routes and end on a track, having you race from one corner on the map to another. The catch here is that at every checkpoint, you have to be ahead of the lowest 4 positions to continue to the next lap, or else your race is over and you get eliminated. With 5 checkpoints to cross, this means that the pack of 24 gets narrowed down to a final 4, so things only get more tense as everyone left does whatever they can to stay in the race. Needless to say, getting Mario Karted in this mode stings the most, as one poorly timed stroke of bad luck can instantly end things. The rally routes take you through different roads on the map that the Grand Prix Cups didn't cover, so there's worthwhile uncharted territory to check out here. Wear your 3-star ranks with pride, which you earn by being in first at every checkpoint in the finish line, truly rising above the tough competition. If you're looking for a little something different than traditional races, Knockout Tours will take you for a ride. There's only so much of the Mario Kart World you get to experience through just races, as there's boundaries to keep things on track, but the game's biggest inclusion is the free roam mode, where you're at liberty to drive around the entire map at your leisure, and in whatever direction the wind takes you. I've played my fair share of open world racers, but with Mario Kart's driving mechanics and items, plus World's map design, free roam feels less like a Forza Horizon and more like a vehicle-based 3D platformer, and a very fun one at that. The goal here is to road trip around the map to find hundreds of P-switches, question mark panels, and Peach medallions hidden everywhere and anywhere. P-switches activate quick missions that test your Mario Kart skills in various ways. These can be anything from reaching a goal in time, collecting blue coins, strategic use of items, special tests of skills, or racing on makeshift tracks, including tributes to a few Super Mario Kart courses. They reminded me of a mix of Mario Kart DS's mission mode with the sense of discovery of finding shrines in Breath of the Wild. The switches are the most plentiful, featuring over 300 to complete, and while not all of them are winners, there's usually a more interesting one around the corner. You'll find question mark panels by revisiting each track. They're on some kind of flat surface like rooftops, or even up on walls. Peach medallions are scattered around hard-to-find nooks and crannies on the map, and often only show themselves when you're near them. Some panels or medallions often have their own little challenges to them. It may require some rail or wall riding, platforming, gliding, and sometimes having a feather on hand to reach obscure spots. There's a lot of trial and error involved with navigating, so if things don't work out, you can rewind your position to a safe spot to quickly try again, but this doesn't turn back the timer if you're in the middle of a mission. Using binoculars to give you a bird's eye view of your current location can help you find some of these collectibles. Locating everything shows just how intricately the whole world was designed, as there's plenty of small details and extra paths to find, like warp pipes to take you to otherwise inaccessible locations. While it's been fun tracking things down, it's not so much fun keeping tabs on what you've already found. While the map screen keeps count of how much of everything you've collected, the map is devoid of any other details to help narrow down spots you haven't explored yet. Outside of a handful of each collectible needed as part of a requirement to unlock Mirror Mode, your rewards for finding and completing things are stickers to put on your card. They're cute bits of artwork or logos based on where you found them, but that's it. If you wanted more substantial rewards for your free roaming efforts, you'll come up empty-handed. It won't be everyone's cup of tea, but you'll more or less have to be okay with the idea of the racing is the reward. I didn't see myself playing as much free roam as I have based on the pre-release material, but I couldn't have been more wrong. If the game's auto-driving on the main menu happened to show me a collectible I hadn't found yet, or I wanted to play something calm after a whirlwind online session, I'd often start cruising around a bit to make some free roam progress. And sometimes I even found myself taking my foot off the gas, just to vibe to certain songs playing in the background. I know free roam may not have been everything people want out of Mario Kart's first crack at open world racing, but I'd be lying to you if I said I haven't been having an absolute blast with it this whole time. If you're looking to practice the fastest lines, especially with all the wall and rail ride shortcuts possible, time trials are a great place for it. You can either race against the clock with a staff ghost, or ghost the faster players to learn how they did things. Versus races let you and your friends play with custom rules, including the option to race on a track with traditional laps, or choose a starting location to race on its connected routes. Battle mode this time around is a mixed bag. Balloon battle is both survival and time-based, as you try to pop or steal each other's balloons with items, with either the last one standing, or whoever scored the most hits when time's up winning. Coin runners has you collecting coins scattered around the map, and taking coins away from opponents using items. The richest player by the end is declared the winner. There's 8 maps to play on, though only 2 of them are traditional classic arenas. The others are closed-off areas found on the racetracks. While battle mode hasn't always been my cup of tea, I think I'd have enjoyed Worlds more with modes like Renegade Roundup, and more classic battle courses on the map like how Big Donut was added. I could think of great spots to place arenas like Pipe Plaza and Twilight House. Online mode lets you compete in either friend or worldwide lobbies, linking up to 24 players together for versus races, knockout tours, or battles. While you're waiting to play, you pass time by free roaming, so you can check off a panel or medallion if you're into that. In my experience, connections between players have been pretty stable, so it's been one less obstacle to worry about when there's already plenty of those in game. Friend lobbies have the host set up private rooms with custom rules, and the expanded player count is perfect for large communities to race together. If you're used to playing with friends while on a Discord call, the Switch 2's game chat feature was a solid built-in alternative, and everyone's collective thrills and spills came through loud and clear. In the ranked worldwide lobbies, players vote from a pool of tracks to race on, and with how unpredictable the roulette can be, no one's choice is off the table. Your VR score is based on how well you finish races, and roughly determines the skill level of players you're matched with. While there's only so much you can do when everyone's at the mercy of items, playing with some strategy can help you fight through the chaos. Definitely don't stay in the middle of the road when coin shells or bullet bills are coming up behind you. Sometimes work with a single item box rather than risk fighting for the doubles. Better to have something than be caught with nothing at the worst time. And if you can get away with it, smuggle powerful items into the front to really pull away from the pack. While Mario Kart races online have always been a roller coaster of emotions, the highs and lows only get more intense during knockout tours. It's never truly over until you've crossed a checkpoint, as every interaction feels cutthroat when everyone's trying their best to survive. While the nature of Mario Kart means things aren't always golden mushrooms and superstars, I see myself logging many more hours in World from online races. Because when things get fun, they're a lot of fun. In my nearly 100 hours spent with Mario Kart World so far, it's been an extremely enjoyable time. While simply playing a new Mario Kart was already going to be fun for me, having new techniques to master, plus an open world to explore only sweeten the deal. There are some bumps in the road, with some lessons that were learned in 8 Deluxe needing to be relearned again, but hopefully most of them will get paved out in time to make this great game better. Whether or not you think you'll get $80 worth of fun out of it is everyone's personal call, but from how much I've played already, with no intentions of stopping anytime soon, I don't regret my purchase. Who knows what the future holds for Mario Kart World over the next few years, but here's hoping it'll continue to be a kart racing road trip worth sticking around for over the long haul. As always, this has been fun, and I'm already looking forward to covering another amazing racing game. So I hope you'll check out what I've got in store for next time, and thank you for watching.